For thousands of years, humans have been searching for inner peace through meditation. But with so many ancient techniques out there, which ones actually deliver results in our busy modern world? I'm Portis, and for the past 3 months, I've immersed myself in 7 meditation practices from different ancient traditions. Some transform my life, others not so much. Today, I'm sharing everything I discovered, including the surprising technique that gave me the most profound results. Let's dive in. First up, Zazen, the cornerstone of Zen Buddhism, dating back to the 6th century China. The practice sounds simple: sit in proper posture, focus on your breath, and clear your mind. But as a meditation newbie, this was my introduction to just how challenging doing nothing can be. For the first week, I struggled with constant mind chatter. My back ached from maintaining the posture, and I kept checking the timer every few minutes. By week 3, something shifted. I started experiencing brief moments of pure mental clarity, what Zen practitioners call shikantaza, or just sitting. These were fleeting but profound glimpses of what meditation could offer. Zazen taught me patience and discipline. While the simplicity makes it accessible, the lack of guidance made progress slow. I'd rate this a 7 out of 10 for beginners, but the foundation it built was essential for techniques that came later. Next, I tried Trataka, an ancient yogic practice where you stare at a candle flame without blinking until tears form, then close your eyes and hold the afterimage. Dating back thousands of years in India, this technique promised improved concentration and awakened intuition. This was surprisingly intense. The first few sessions, my eyes burned and I couldn't maintain my gaze for more than a minute. By the second week, I could stare for nearly 5 minutes, and something unexpected happened. When I closed my eyes, not only did I see the flame's afterimage, but I entered a state of heightened awareness, unlike anything I'd experienced before. Trataka dramatically improved my focus in daily life. I found myself less distracted during work and conversations. The technique was simple yet powerful, 8.5 out of 10 for effectiveness, especially for those struggling with concentration. Vipassana, meaning to see things as they really are, originated from Buddhist traditions over 2,500 years ago. This technique involves systematically observing bodily sensations without reaction, teaching practitioners to overcome ingrained response patterns. I joined a weekend Vipassana retreat, no talking, no phone, meditation for 8+ hours daily. The first day was excruciating. My body ached and my mind rebelled. By day 2, I hit a wall of uncomfortable emotions, grief, anger, anxiety, all bubbling to the surface. But instead of running from these feelings, I observed them come and go. If you're finding value in this journey so far, hit that subscribe button to join me on more explorations of ancient wisdom in our modern world. Trust me, the most surprising revelations are still ahead. Vipassana was the most challenging technique, but potentially the most transformative. It taught me to observe discomfort rather than immediately reacting to it, a skill that's benefited my entire life. 9 out of 10 for depth, but requires serious commitment. Moving to Chinese Taoist traditions, I explored Qigong, a moving meditation dating back at least 4,000 years that combines gentle movements with breath control to cultivate qi, or life energy. After the intensity of Vipassana, Qigong felt refreshing. Rather than fighting my body's need to move, I embraced it through flowing sequences. The focus on energy pathways in the body created tangible sensations, warmth in my hands, a pleasant buzzing throughout my limbs. Within days, I noticed improvements in my sleep quality and digestion. Qigong offered a perfect balance of accessibility and effectiveness. The movement aspect makes it ideal for those who struggle with sitting still. The physical benefits were immediate, with mental clarity following closely behind. 8 out of 10 overall, an underrated practice in Western meditation circles. From ancient India's Vedic tradition comes mantra meditation, the repetition of sacred sounds to focus the mind and connect with deeper consciousness. I learned a traditional Sanskrit mantra from a teacher who emphasized that the sounds themselves, not their meanings, create specific vibrations in the body and mind. Initially, I felt self-conscious chanting the unfamiliar sounds. But after a few days, the mantra began to feel like a refuge, a mental sanctuary I could access anywhere, even in crowded spaces. By week 2, I experienced moments where the mantra seemed to recite itself, and my consciousness expanded beyond my usual boundaries. Mantra meditation provided the quickest access to deep meditative states. The anchor of sound kept my mind focused longer than breath awareness alone. For busy modern lives, it's remarkably practical, 9 out of 10 for both beginners and experienced meditators. Next, I explored contemplative prayer from Christian mystical traditions, particularly the methods described in The Cloud of Unknowing, a 14th century text. This practice involves releasing thoughts and images while maintaining a loving attention toward the divine, represented by a single sacred word. As someone without a strong religious background, I was surprised by how accessible this technique felt. The practice had similarities to mantra meditation, but with an emphasis on receptivity rather than concentration. After several sessions, I experienced profound moments of what mystics call the prayer of quiet, a deep stillness where thinking subsides and a different kind of knowing emerges. This approach bridged Eastern and Western contemplative traditions beautifully. Its framework of surrender rather than achievement offered a valuable counterbalance to more effort-based practices. 7.5 out of 10, especially powerful for those with Christian backgrounds or those seeking a heart-centered practice. Finally, I attempted Dzogchen, considered the highest teaching in Tibetan Buddhism. Unlike other techniques that work gradually, Dzogchen aims directly for recognizing the nature of mind beyond all concepts. This was the most difficult practice to approach without extensive preparation. The instructions seem paradoxical. Rest in natural awareness without meditation. For weeks, I struggled to understand what this meant. Then one morning, while practicing outdoors, something clicked. For a brief moment, I experienced awareness without a center or boundary, not focusing on anything specific, yet completely present. Dzogchen offers the most direct path, but may require the most preparation. The glimpses it provided were profound but fleeting for a relative beginner. 6 out of 10 for accessibility, 10 out of 10 for potential depth. A practice that might require years to fully explore. After 3 months of daily practice, here's what surprised me most. No single technique is universally best. Different approaches serve different needs at different times. The most effective practice for me was actually a combination, starting with Qigong movements to settle my body, transitioning to mantra meditation to focus my mind, and ending with open awareness inspired by Dzogchen. The most immediate benefits came from consistency rather than technique. Even 5 minutes daily proved more transformative than occasional longer sessions. And perhaps most importantly, these ancient practices aren't relics. They're sophisticated technologies for mental health that often address modern problems more effectively than many contemporary solutions. Before I share my final thoughts, if you found this exploration helpful, please hit subscribe and the notification bell. I'm diving into ancient wisdom for modern life every week, and I'd love to have you join me on this journey. These ancient techniques have survived millennia because they work. They offer something our hyper-connected, distraction-filled world desperately needs: tools to reconnect with ourselves at the deepest level. My advice? Start with the technique that resonates most with you. Be patient. The benefits build over time, often in unexpected ways. What began as research for this video has become a cornerstone of my daily life, not just for stress relief, but as a way to access clarity, creativity, and connection that I didn't know was possible. I'd love to hear about your experiences with meditation. Drop a comment below with any questions or share which technique you're most curious to try. Until next time, this is Portis, wishing you peace beyond understanding. Oh, and one last thing, the single most helpful tip I discovered. Start ridiculously small. Even 1 minute counts. The goal isn't perfect meditation, it's showing up consistently. See you in the next video.